Daily Broadside, day 498. You Google the word askew, the whole screen like tilts. That's dumb, okay? That's dumb. Somebody at Google thinks they're funny. They're not. I knew a guy, I still know him, he's still alive, and he considered himself a cowboy. Wore those, what are those boots called everybody wears? Straight Hyatts? Lariats? I don't know, some kind of boot that everybody wears. Blue jean, boot cut blue jeans, piece of straw in his mouth, all that kind of stuff. Rode horses, tamed horses, broke horses, whipped horses. I don't know what else you do to horses. Walk them around in a circle, tied to that little thing, whatever, training circle. But he lived in an apartment, and he drove like a Honda. And I'm like, dude, you can't be a cowboy and live in an apartment with a Honda. I don't care how cowboy you think you are. You've got to have, at the very least, a single rear-wheel diesel, and you've got to have some kind of land that'll hold a horse, okay? You can't be keeping a horse in your apartment, if you rent like an extra garage and put a horse in it. Pretty sure that's against the rules anyway, but even if it would fit, can't be doing that. It doesn't allow you to be a cowboy. That's just me. It's a city boy talking who now lives in the country. But then again, I don't tout myself as a cowboy. I ain't got no horse. I think you got to have a horse you got to have some kind of equine or bovine or what are pig? Swine. One of those three. If you ain't got one of those, maybe I'll give you sheep. If you got sheep, goats. If you got any kind of animal in mass on your property, then you can be a cowboy. You got to be able to wrangle something or bring them in. You got to have a reason to go to a feed and feed, steed and feed, a feed store. Okay, you got to have some. You back up to the dock with your truck, and they just haul off and toss burlap sacks full of seed into your truck. If you ain't got one of these things going on, you ain't nobody. You just a cowboy. You are an apartment cowboy is all you are. Nobody wants to hear from an apartment cowboy. We don't respect that. A couple weeks ago, I saw a thing on TikTok, and they were talking about I think it was in New York, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be. It doesn't really matter. But there was a dude who had been for years raping his pet dog in the park, right? And they finally catch him. And it's like a grown man. Not that matters. Not that it makes it any less wrong to rape a dog in a park if you're a young man. But this was like I want to say like a 40, 50-year-old man, right? And he'd been doing this for some time, according to the authorities. So they capture him, whatever. He gets, separated from the dog, of course, and it gets rehomed. And that dog getting rehomed is probably like, sleeping with his eyes open, and they're all like, hey little dog, you want a treat? And they're like, you planning on raping me? Somebody just had a wreck. And then they don't rape the dog, and he's like, I don't know what's going on here. There's no rape going on. This is too nice. It is kind of pleasant when, quite frankly, when abused dogs. My parents have got an abused dog. Nicest dog in the world. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Will chase a squirrel, but won't hurt a fly. I don't know what it would do to a squirrel if it caught it, but fortunately they climb trees. But at any rate, when they got that dog, most skittish thing in the world, now it's just like the most genteel, whatever, cool, laid-back, nice dog ever. And it's nice when dogs that were abused get rehomed to nice homes and people that love them and all. And when you rape, you have a park rape dog, that gets rehomed, that's cool and all. Well, I say that to say this. On the story, they said in the article, they were like, the guy made a statement. He's like, hey, I'm just blowing off some steam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, hurt the dog or anything like that. And I was like, well, that's a weird thing to say. So I took to the comments, and I just made a stupid little joke that basically said, blowing off steam. Why'd they name the dog Steam? Ha, 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 right? Just a corny joke, right? And that comes from a joke where it's like, man, I had a rough night last night. He's like, what happened? He's like, oh, I went out drinking at the bar. I got home and I blew chunks. And they're like, well, that happens, sometimes when you drink too much, you throw up. He's like, yeah, but my dog's name is Chunks, ha ha, right? It's just a stupid joke. Well, I got 700 some, likes and comments, everybody laughing and all this. I was like, okay, whatever. It was mildly funny. I don't even know why I wrote it. But everybody else thought it was hilarious. But except two people. Two people commented, that's not funny. Making fun of dogs that were raped and abused and assaulted and blah, blah, blah. I was like, lady, ma'am, sir, whoever the hell you are, like, the dog's fine. The dog has been extricated from the rapist. It's no longer there. I'm not endorsing any kind of dog rape, you know? And it's like, I have a sense of humor, you know? And even if it was, my joke, quote unquote, soft quotes, my joke does nothing to negate, fulfill, further, anticipate, amplify, I don't know any other words, the rape and abuse of the dog. It's like, I got no bearing, I got no dog in this fight. You see what I did? So people just need to lighten up. People need to lighten the hell up, you know what I mean? Because when they don't lighten up, things just get dark, you know? And I don't know. I bet that the person who does the sign language for the Biden administration, both Corinne Jean-Pierre, Kamala Harris, and the potato Joe Biden, they've got to be on their P's and Q's. They've got to be like, just, God, what, I don't even know what sentence I'm making these days. Because if you read a transcript of any three of those goofballs talking, it's not even English. It's not even like cogent sentences, you know? Put some thought together, all right? Like, you're the most powerful people in the world, and y'all can't even make sentences. And you're making this poor sign language lady over here work overtime, you know? Like a court stenographer, you know, and they don't even know what they're saying because you don't know what you're saying. But anyway, y'all giddy.